Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ben Gessel. Just had the TV on. In between Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2, and I have a few thoughts for you. I've been meaning to kind of put out some more videos, but sometimes, at least recently, my mind has just been very muddled. I do apologize. But I have a number of things that I want to talk about. This is kind of the next video. And, I'm going to start this out with a little bit of bee and wasp type of stuff. So that's one of my interests, is bees and wasps. I suppose it's because I have a bit of a phobia of wasps and bees. And so but because there's kind of a scientific side to this, there's this kind of a colorful side to this, a lot of different sides to the whole, um, not just bees and wasps, but also spiders and scorpions and all kinds of bugs that are very colorful. And so, it's actually very interesting for me. I mean, like, it's a hobby, but of course, like a lot of the people, I'm very afraid of getting stung by some of these guys. So anyway, I decided on my own to do some emails, and at least to Professor Justin Schmidt in Arizona, and he was so awesome. I mean, it was so awesome. Just the best guy in the world. So, if you guys have ever any questions about, bees and wasps, I think he's the first person you want to talk to, as long as he has time. But he was so gracious and so kind. I also emailed Coyote Peterson about some stuff. I know he's kind of busy. I don't know if I'll hear back from him necessarily, but um, I haven't really made up. There's some things that I haven't really come to a firm conclusion about, and it has something to do with how painful certain stings are from certain kinds of insects, because there's some differing opinions, and I think some of that it's also where you get stung by a certain, and also how much venom is pumped into you when you get stung, and also pain thresholds and different things like that, different people, or it could be just, I don't know. Anyway, this is kind of a little weird. I don't know. I'm just kind of key on. Sorry, guys, if it's weird. Anyway, it's just kind of old. So basically, okay. So, and I've had dreams like a lot of other people with, you know, involving being surrounded or having. This one dream I had where I had, wherever I stepped, almost everywhere I stepped in this overgrown kind of yard, long grass, there were bees and wasps everywhere that were crawling around in the grass. Some of them were gigantic, and so I was trying not to step on any of them. But yeah, I've had the dream where you have wasps that have, um, 10 or 11 different black stripes, just enormous, like a foot long things. And they're just ambling along. They're not even aggressive, but you're scared out of your mind to see all these things crawling around. I mean, it's like you think being surrounded by snakes would be scary, and actually, in a way, it would be a lot more frightening than maybe bees, because you might be thinking, oh, you're gonna die around all the snakes, poisonous snakes. Well, yeah, okay, but it's just the freakishness of seeing the size of these wasps, this big, to me is another level of scariness, and the color and everything. We don't always think about the connection between color and fear, but there is a connection. And so I'll let you guys, think about that one on your own. I've mentioned the other things about that kind of stuff earlier on, maybe in my dreams, but not maybe in my videos. Sorry, guys. Red and black and, well, yellow for insects, yes, but kind of a caution thing. It's like you see yellow in nature, yellow and black. It's like kind of a universal "don't eat me, I'm dangerous" kind of thing. But red is, you know up there as well. Not to mention even other colors like, dark browns, even the green, blue, purple range sometimes. But really bright, vivid colors, I suppose. Um, a lot of very poisonous frogs and caterpillars are green, and course, red. You see red a lot. You do see blue, of course, with tarantula hawk wasp, and warrior wasp and stuff. And you do see purple as well with the warrior wasps wings, and yeah, it's not quite as common, but it's there. And of course, orange with the Japanese giant hornet. Um, by the way, though, I think I should mention since I'm on the subject. Um, I think it's probably safe to say that the executioner wasp video is coming out tomorrow morning or tomorrow. I'm not sure when, but it's coming out tomorrow. Coyote Peterson's getting stung by the most painful insect in, as far as you know, anywhere. As far as we know yet, I don't know. We'll have to see about other ones, but execution wasp video coming out tomorrow. That's supposedly the most painful sting. Then after that, it's the Japanese giant hornet, and it's gigantic, so that makes sense. And then after that is the bullet ant, debatably. Then after that, you get kind of like, I don't know, warrior wasp or tarantula hawk wasp. Then you get to after that, the velvet ant, and then from there, it's just, paper wasps and harvester ants and that sort of thing. Anyway, short circuit 2, guys. Anyway, so basically, okay, I wanted to mention something else here. What was it? Sorry, guys. It'll come back to me in a second. I'm very tired and thinking about a lot of stuff. Quite a lot of things. Let me think here. I'm sorry. Well, I've got to a point where, I'll still see diet videos here and there, but, I think a lot of people that put out videos about diet, it's all fine and good. Sometimes it's useful, but, I don't know, the main thing I think is, one of the things about health that we don't always think about is energy. How much energy do you have? I don't think it's a question of always of how, this is kind of a dumb vegan thing or just a dumb fad, I think, but it's not always a question of how amazing supposedly your skin is or how big your muscles are. That's another side to health, which I understand quite a bit. I think there's something having to do more with your mood and your energy level throughout the day. And I tell you what, I mean, when it gets this dark all the time, I'm trying to get vitamin D in my system, by the way. But yeah, I mean, like, if you're depressed, there's a lot of reasons why that is. It's not necessarily that you're unhealthy. But I do tend to think that if you're really down the dumps all the time and you eat very unhealthily and you're very sedentary and you just have very crazy sleeping habits, depression can factor in there a bit. And the question is, how unhealthy is that? Well, I don't have all the answers, but I think that there are dimensions to health. Well, I guess what I'm getting at is there are dimensions to physical health that get into the emotional and the spiritual realm. And, we don't understand it fully, but, if you're just going through some crud, like just in general, and, it's not your fault. It's often not your fault that, you're even unhealthy in a way. It's like sometimes you just have to do what you got to do. I mean, I keep thinking like there are people out there I've seen on YouTube. I know that I don't know how much time they have in their hands, but they probably have quite a bit of it. Or at least there's some of us that have a fair amount of free time, but we really have so many things that we're about in life, so many goals, so many things that we're trying to do, that it kind of makes that free time mean something. Yeah, if you didn't have that free time, it'd be much harder to get to these things. But you have people that have all this time on their hands, and I'm like, so what are you doing with that time? And so there's a side to me that wants to kind of scrutinize people that way, but at the same time, I really do realize that you can be very, very healthy for someone to not be stressed out, to have a lot of time to do whatever, and to just kind of zone out and that can be a very healthy thing. It's an ongoing train of thought because, I think it's more admirable to be about things in life, doing good things with your life, and kind of to be somewhat busy about things. So it's less admirable to be kind of lazy or to be not really doing much with your time, depending on what it is you're doing, But that can be less admirable. But at the same time, it's healthier because you're less stressed out. And so is that more admirable? Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about that particular train of thought. Wasn't really what I wanted to talk about, though. It was just a side note. I don't know. So, again, I just mentioned this before. There's a lot of things we're still kind of learning about, still, in that whole arena. So, I'm sure I'll mention this again. I want to wish all you guys a Merry Christmas, by the way. And thanks for, subscribing to my channel also. I noticed there was a while when I just had like 30 something subscribers. Actually, it's now up to almost 60. So, I really appreciate everybody, especially for smaller channels like myself. Every subscriber is awesome, amazing, um, you know. Um, and I have, I guess, another train of thought, and that is trying not to have too many different things here. I mentioned one video, but just, a few different things. I should put out more videos. But it's true, there's a lot of fluff on YouTube, there's a lot of nonsense. Hopefully, most of my videos are not that way. So, what do you guys think of, for instance, channels where people do stupid things for views? And stupid is somewhat subjective, of course, but by stupid I mean things that are very funny, but are also very juvenile. I'm not just talking about, and there's a time when I watched more prank videos, that sort of thing. So there's all the prank videos, but there's all the acrobatic stuff. There's a video, for instance, of a guy that actually flips over some cops. He does a kind of stunt where he actually does a backflip over cops, over them, and he films it. And I guess he gets in trouble. That was filmed a long time ago, and it gets a lot of views because it's actually pretty impressive. But it's also against it might be against the law because he could have accidentally hit those cops, and then that would have been bad. Oh, of course, he did it on accident, right? I don't know. I don't know. He was trying to avoid hitting the cops, but I would just never do that. You couldn't pay me money to do that. So there's other videos, made by people that, go through a lot of stuff. That buy so there's people that buy a lot of food, make a lot of food, go through a lot of preparations, and they do this kind of, like, for instance, one of the common channels you're talking about is Man versus Food, where he just makes these gargantuan creations. There's others as well. I don't have to mention them, but what do you guys think of YouTube videos where you have big guys or guys are really carnivorous? They kind of see how many calories they can eat, or they do all these culinary otherwise challenges, right? Is that juvenile and stupid, or is that good content? Well, I tend to think that it kind of depends on maybe how creative it is at this point. You can see there's a fair number, I think, of guys trying to eat lots of pizza and burgers and stuff and see how much they can pound it down. That's kind of a big jock thing, right? I don't know. But, there also are some pretty creative videos like that out there. I suppose it's just, the train of thought I suppose I have is not only how much merit is there with these videos, and believe me, I think there is. It really is impressive when you see somebody manage to eat a really stinking hot pepper and survive to tell a tale. That's impressive, right? I think that's also kind of another commonly done one, but it's definitely also forgivable because eating peppers is one of the most impressive things, in my opinion, to see someone do online. Other than the eating contest stuff, which is more of a jock thing again, but yeah, big boy thing. So anyway, what last thing was I'll say some other thoughts for here in a bit. I'm like many of you guys, I don't know. Wondering a little bit if there's going to be natural disasters happening in the future. Trying to get a few extra bits of, I don't know, emergency preparedness foods and water. Um, so that's also in the back of my mind. But anyway, I'll save some more thoughts a bit later. So this is kind of a very video. Let me know what you guys think about any of this stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks. Bye.